Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more details videos. Aryna Sabalenka goes full Coco Gauff as wild Wimbledon crowd deafens center court. Remember how American star Coco Gauff battled the French crowd that was moving like an unstoppable force behind local talent and French Open sensation Lois Boisson last month? As intimidating as it was playing in front of fans cheering for the giant killer, who had taken down Jessica Pegula and Mira Andreeva, Gauff had a strategy to overcome this hurdle. When you were chanting her name, I was saying to myself my name. Simple. Well, seems like world number one Aryna Sabalenka may have channelized a similar tactic on Friday while battling British talent Emma Raducanu and her home fans on center court at Wimbledon. The third round encounter at the All England Club was as expected, intense for the three-time Slam Queen. In the first set, she had to work harder and eventually took it in a tiebreaker. But in the second, she didn't take much time to get a fourth-round ticket after besting Raducanu with a score line of 7-6, 6-4. And all throughout, she had to face the overwhelming fans of Raducanu, who were constantly screaming her name to boost her confidence. So, how did Sabalenka deal with that? During the press conference, Sabalenka simply revealed the atmosphere. Sometimes my ears were like really blocked from how loud it was. But then she found out the biggest strategy to counter it. But I really enjoyed. And I was trying to trick my brain, and I was pretending that people were cheering for me. And sometimes when they were screaming Emma, it sounded like Aryna or so. I don't know why. But yeah, I think that's why I wasn't getting really annoyed by that, you know. What also helped her situation was that even though the crowd at center court did their best to get behind their local hero, they knew where to draw the line. I mean, I played enough in the States against American, and there it's like super crazy, and honestly I'm super grateful that people were respectful and really polite during the points, and even though they were cheering her for her between the points during the point, I was able to focus, and they were really polite once again. The world number one said during the same press conference. Not too long ago, in the 2023 U.S. Open final against Gauff, Sabalenka, with the first set in her bag, allowed the crowd to get to her, and the American to mount a comeback. It was a lesson well learned. When she returned to the Arthur Ashe Stadium for the final again the following year, she walked out with the Grand Slam trophy after besting American Jessica Pegula. But will the three-time Slam champion manage to win her first major title of this season? She's missed out on two occasions, in Melbourne and then Paris. However, it seems the Belarusian is determined to end her drought at the grass court major, and there's hardly anything that can stop her invincible campaign. Not even the royal box. Aryna Sabalenka fully focused at Wimbledon. When you spot a renowned celebrity in the stands, watching her game live, you can't help but get starstruck. Unless you are Aryna Sabalenka. Guess who was present to witness her in action recently at the grass major? During her second-round battle against Marie Buzkova, A-listers like singer Olivia Rodrigo, wrestler John Cena, and Foo Fighters musician Dave Grohl graced the royal box, their eyes glued to the court where Sabalenka was trying to battle it out against Buzkova. And guess what? She didn't even take a glimpse of the stars. Why? I was trying not to look today, reported WTA's website earlier this week. I'm really glad that I wasn't looking there. I would be like this the whole match. She was just trying to focus on my game. Later on I'm going to open the social media. Okay, who was there? Well, her approach did yield fruitful results. She eventually beat Buzkova in straight sets with a score line of 7-6, 5, 6-4 and moved ahead. Sabalenka's trying to keep this approach intact until she accomplishes her Wimbledon dream. The world number one is hungry to win a slam this year. Interestingly, her past record at the All England Club gives her an edge too. In recent editions, 2021 and 2023, she's managed to enter the semis. This time, she would like to do one better and lift the ladies' singles trophy. Do you think she can really do it? What are your thoughts on her Wimbledon prospects? Let us know in the comments below. Also, don't forget to get all the action from the championships live and uninterrupted on Essentially Sports. The roar of center court. Sabalenka channels Gauff vibes at Wimbledon. Center court at Wimbledon isn't just a tennis stage, it's a drum of anticipation. On July 4th, 2025, World number 1 Aryna Sabalenka faced British hopeful Emma Raducanu in a third-round clash that seemed equal parts classical match and rock concert. The ethereal green of the grass, the soft whisper of the ball, replaced by thunderous cheers from a partisan crowd, and a response from Sabalenka that would electrify the tennis world. The Times.co.uk, +15. Reuters.com, +15. Talksport.com, +15. A duel of emotion and athleticism. The crowd predictable rallied behind Raducanu, their cheers an unceasing wave, trying to smash through Sabalenka's armor. But the Belarusian responded, not with spikes or stares, but with something far more primal. Gut-punching grunts that shook the court, reminiscent of Coco Gauff's own fierce intensity. Each grunt, sharp, rhythmic, unstoppable, became her rallying cry. They met the crowd's roars head-on, refusing to yield until Sabalenka clawed back from 4-1 down in the second set to win 5 straight games and the match 7-6, 6-4. Reuters.com. To the casual observer, it might have looked like Gauff's game, but to those listening, it was pure Sabalenka, raw, unapologetic, and utterly captivating. Channeling Coco, but rooted in self. The headline, Sabalenka goes full Coco Gauff, speaks to more than loud lines. It echoes her newfound mindset, not just defending each point, but owning it. Coco Gauff's powerful mental resilience, exemplified by her French Open comeback, seemed to echo through Sabalenka's every movement. NYPost.com, +15. Reuters.com, +15. AlJazeera.com, +15. NYPost.com. But this was an imitation. Sabalenka's grunts, consistent and rhythmic, differ from Gauff's breathing intensity. They mark her own internal metronome, her path to power. As one recent study observed, Sabalenka grunts on 100% of serves and 95% of other shots, more consistent than almost anyone else. The Sun.co.uk. Turning perceived noise into a strategic rhythm to unsettle opponents and drown out distractions. Courtly choreography, from TikTok tensions to dance diplomacy. A few days before the Raducanu match, Wimbledon watchers saw a lighter side, Sabalenka and Gauff dancing together on center court to Gonna Make You Sweat. TikTok videos confirming they'd buried any lingering tension from their Paris showdown. AJC.com, +7. Independent.co.uk, +7. APnews.com, +7. With smiles and sway, they washed away criticism of Sabalenka's post-French Open remarks as unprofessional, pointing instead toward mutual respect and sporting grace. The Sun.co.uk, +15. AlJazeera.com, +15. Independent.co.uk, +15. Fans were quick to point out the contrast. Just days ago, they were hitting the court with emotion. Now, they were cutting a rug. The duo had turned dispute into duet, proving that in modern tennis, reconciliation can be as compelling as rivalry. Yet both can coexist. Grunts amid cheers, the ultimate test. Back to Sunday's match. Raducanu played bravely, even threatening the insulation of Welsh rock. The crowd's chants grew feverish, British hearts on edge, but Sabalenka stayed unflinching, using her vocalizations, her breath, and her raw will as a counterattack. Her grunts didn't merely break the volume barrier. They set the barrier. They told center court this is my time. At 27, with 3 majors already to her name, she wasn't just defending her ranking. She was reshaping what it meant to play with unfiltered passion on grass. The buzz beyond the court. Fans, pundits, and former pros buzzed. Some bristled at the decibel level. Others argued that match intensity defined tennis greatness. Reddit threads recalled similar crowd grunt dynamics. She also needs to keep the crowd quiet like she did in the first set, framing mental strength as the undercurrent of today's women's game. Reddit.com. And just days before Paris, Coco's comeback and victory over Sabalenka had shown tennis that grace can coexist with grit. Across their unpredictable dance, the two women now stand as dual mirrors, each reflecting the other's strengths, liberties, and legacies. What all means. Sabalenka's grunt renaissance. Not just a quirk, it's a weapon. a built-in breathing apparatus that fuels her power swings and mental armor, even when the house is leaning against her. Gauff-Sabalenka rivalry. They've danced, they've battled, and they've learned. From their U.S. Open final in 2023 to Roland Garros and Wimbledon 2025, their relationship mirrors elite sports complexity, competition, and camaraderie in one. Crowd as catalyst. Raducanu's fans provided the soundtrack, but Sabalenka turned it into applause for the performance she wanted to deliver. New era of resilience. These are not era-defining rivalries of the past. They are era-forging ones. They're setting new standards for emotional, mental, and performance fortitude in women's tennis. Final whistle. As the match ended, the roof closed, not for rain, but to seal the moment. A thunderous Sabalenka standing tall amid the cheers she overcame, the echoes of grunts still vibrating through the white roses and manicured grass. Here on center court, she hadn't just beaten Raducanu. She had redefined what it means to go full Coco, by not copying her, but by channeling her energy into her own indelible voice. And watching Sabalenka stand victorious, you realize that voice is louder, prouder, and unapologetically her own.